I'm Alan Walsh. I am the founder of Anfield Boxing Club and Real Men Don't Carry Knives. We're a youth provision that sets up solely to tackle youth violence, knife crime and gang culture. My journey started many years ago. Youth work played a big part in my life, but the reason why I become into the knife crime, I was stabbed multiple times and nearly lost my life when I was younger. So I've always been passionate about the violence, the destruction and knife crime, especially because the impact it had on me and my family. And it was youth work who played a massive part in my life. It helped me turn around. I wish he'd turned it down straight away, but he never. It was one of them. The journey took a long time. I'm still going through the journey now, most probably. And it was a woman who had done the final turn around in my life. I met my wife, knew nothing about me, married her, and from there she encouraged me to go and do my youth work qualification. I'm severely dyslexic, I struggle with reading and writing, so she more or less done my qualification for me. It's just been a whole process. My life's just been like youth workers involved in it, or somebody mentoring me, and I just thought, you know what, I need to get back. And I got to a certain age and I thought, yeah, I'll do it, I'll have a go with doing it, and it's been great ever since. When the young people I work with, you can see a lack of aspiration, you can see a lack of belief in them, and I had that, even though from a really good family, and my mum and dad and all that brought me up and stuff, and be a nice person and whatever else, but I never really had that somebody behind me motivating me. And it was the two people, my youth worker and my wife, and they believed in me, and I just thought, you know what, the power in, I know it sounds corny, but the power in somebody believing in you was that. And you see that every day in the boxing club, and you see that when I'm on the streets working with the kids on the streets and stuff like that. Like, I'm 53, it's been more or less like 40 odd years of just everything developing, and I'm still learning, still doing it now. I feel sorry for schools, teachers especially, because most like comprehensive schools, you've got 30 kids in the class, and you've got to teach them all the same way, so not all the needs are getting met at the individuals in the classroom. And that's not right, because the simple fact is people learn in different ways. Like most cities, I've done work across most cities, but in Liverpool, you can go down one street and you're mixing with the rich and the wealthy, and down another street you're mixing with the most deprived and communities and stuff like that. And any community, why should one kid get the opportunity that the other kids shouldn't have? We all should have a way of equality. That's never going to happen, so we're not going to fool ourselves on that one. So what we try and do within the club is give them opportunities. And people say to me, sometimes we do funding bids and stuff, and they say to you, can you do us a favour, tell us what evidence, what it's like and what you've done. And basically some lines I'll just say, you've saved a life. By having this gym open saves lives. Liverpool's a city that stands together. We've worked hard for this city. This city was crumbling in the 80s. I was having a conversation before. This city was on its knees in the 80s. And we've brought it back to where we are now, one of the greatest cities in the world. We have issues, massive issues, like every major city, but we have a really good side to it as well. And through the media and stuff like that, we don't get that portrayed. People don't get to see the beautiful things that's happening in our city. We're known for football teams and music, but we're also known for brilliant young people as well, but we just don't publicise that enough. But I worked for an organisation many years ago, the Home Office, and the strapline of them was because everyone deserves a chance. One of the biggest philosophies that we have in here, we never give up on anyone, so that mostly be our mantra, never give up. And that we say that's the boxers all the time, never give up. That's just, when you see the kids in here later, that's a success story, just having the kids in, having the kids return and stuff like that. I had to get a young girl, Ellie, she'll kill me for this, a young girl called Ellie. She was having mental health problems, and the thing that we were working with, and we didn't know she was having the problems, and she approached us and told us. And Ellie stood up in front, one of the end product of all the support we give her and all that, she stood up in front of 60 other young people at the Crime Commissioner's Youth Panel and give her story. And from that, like, loads of other young people come forward and stuff like that. I've got a young lad in the gym at the moment, Ben, got his own business now, set up his own business within the gym doing PTs. I've got kids who are in working and stuff like that. We've got kids who have had babies, kids who have seen 30 years, 20 years later, they're alive still, and that's the success story. The female programme that DCTUK are heavily behind. We've got the largest female squad of boxers in the country, well, in the city at the moment. Part of that, the reason behind that, a massive success story again, is that's all set up to keep young girls safe. Because what we've seen in Liverpool at the moment is a rise in female gang culture and the exploitation of females. So by doing what we're doing, we're creating a safe haven for them. So the whole project's a success, all the schoolwork. We work with about 500-600 kids a week through the schoolwork and on the streets and the outreach. It sounds really corny, but just keeping a kid alive in some of our cases is a massive success story. We don't win every battle. love to say we do, but we don't. We're not one of them organisations who say that every kid that comes, we turn them around. We don't, because we actually do work with the kids who've stabbed other kids. But what we also do as well, we work with the perpetrators, and the success stories on that are massive because we turn them around. They're not stabbing anyone no more and stuff like that. Some people don't like the fact that we work with perpetrators, but I'm a great believer. You've got to work with them, otherwise we're never going to get out of it. Oh, you shouldn't be working with them, they're the ones who are doing it, they're the ones who are killing kids. Now, I work with a lot of families who've lost kids, and the 99% of them are like, Alan, carry on doing what you're doing. The belief in them, the young person, and that is postcoded, that I don't care what anyone says. If you're from Woolton or Allerton and all that, you stand a better opportunity of going to university or getting a top job. That's must be the biggest one, is the belief, the stigma that's attached to areas where they're from. The belief in young people themselves. I've talked to young people in this community, where I work, and the saddest thing for me is when you look in their eyes and they just go like, you know what? I'd rather do this, so there's nothing else. I'd rather die young, because what's use of living? People think, oh, you exaggerate. I'm not exaggerating. People think, oh, every kid in North Liverpool is a drug dealer. A lot of them deal or run drugs or whatever. That's one, because they're getting forced to do it, or the other one is because they're doing it because the families have got no money. But the biggest thing is the aspiration. Is the lack of aspiration. From a very early age, they've just watched generation after generation of unemployment in the families. So they just think, well, that's what we do, and you can't do this. There's a stigma as well. If you go to college or university, you think you're from this community, you don't do that. Hopefully, over the young people that we work with in here, we raise that aspiration, we set them goals and targets. We tell, even like just for the boxers example, you put them into championships. I'm ready. No, you are ready. We wouldn't put you in unless you're ready. And all the coaches, we all believe in them. I send them all videos as well as the coaches' motivational videos. In here, we've got to be the mum, the dad, the nan, the granddad, and the babysitter. You're motivating you all the time. You're challenging stuff as well. You're challenging behaviours, what they're doing, and you think, oh, you're setting them targets and telling them what's right and wrong. But the most is you're saying to them, you can achieve. So in here, we take them out the comfort zone, and you've got to take them out the comfort zone. But when I work with a young person and do one-to-ones, I always look for the root of the problem. Right when a kid goes into school, he goes, the teacher hates me. So we always say, well, when did the teacher start hating you? When you slam the door and threw the chair across the class. So we always look for that. Behind every child is an adult that's messed them up. We are in the process of, I can't mention the names at the moment, but I did say, but we are in the process of talking to people regarding a new building, which will become a boxing hub, but it'll also become a trauma-informed education centre. So it'll be the first in the country, first boxing club in the country. Because we were, believe it or not, the first boxing club in the country to tackle youth violence and knife crime. We were doing that way before. We were doing it before anyone else got on board. But and my background, I'm a youth worker before a boxing coach. Yeah. That's what we set it up for. But the club, we've got massive plans, haven't we, for the club going forward. But we just need the support of our local council. Now, when you watch this, it'll be George Clooney sitting here.
I like it.
The camera never lies either, Paul. So when I look dead slim on this, you make sure you've got that big lines to me.